People think respect comes from being good to people, being patient, being understanding, being available, being forgiving, being easy to talk to, being the person who stays when others leave. And there is truth in that. Kindness matters, consistency matters, loyalty matters, but there is a strange part of human behavior that most people do not want to admit. People do not always respect what is good for them. They respect what they know they can lose. Not because people are cruel by nature. Not because love should be turned into fear. Not because you should threaten people, disappear, or play games. But because the human mind often fails to recognize the value of something that feels guaranteed. What is always there becomes part of the background. What is always forgiven becomes less carefully handled. What is always available becomes less consciously appreciated. And what cannot be lost often stops being protected. Most people don't realize this, but respect is closely tied to consequence, not punishment. Consequence. The quiet understanding that if something is mishandled, access to it can change. A person can be kind and still leave. A person can care and still stop answering. A person can love deeply and still decide not to stay where they are being treated casually. That possibility creates weight, and weight changes behavior. Because when people believe your presence is permanent, they may begin to treat it like furniture. Useful, comforting, always there, rarely considered. But when they understand that your presence is a choice, not a guarantee, something shifts. They become more aware, not always better, not always immediately, but more aware, and this changes everything. Because many people accidentally teach others that they cannot be lost. They do not mean to. They are not trying to look weak. They are just trying to love well. They forgive quickly. They explain their pain softly. They keep responding after disrespect. They accept the apology before the behavior changes. They keep making themselves available even after being overlooked. They say it's okay when it is not okay. They come back every time, and slowly the other person learns something. Not from a speech, from the pattern. They learn this person will stay. They learn I can delay effort. They learn I can apologize later. They learn their disappointment does not really change anything. They learn their boundary bends when I push. And once that lesson is learned, respect begins to weaken, not necessarily affection. Someone can still care about you and respect you less. Someone can enjoy you and take you for granted. Someone can feel attached to your presence and still mishandle it. That is the part that confuses people. They think, if they care, why do they treat me this way? But care without fear of loss can become lazy. A person may care about the comfort you provide, but not the cost of keeping you. They may care about how you make them feel, but not how they make you feel. They may care enough to miss you when you are gone, but not enough to honor you while you were there. This is where things start going wrong. Because when someone starts treating you casually, the instinct is often to prove your value. You give more, you explain more, you try to make them understand. You show them how loyal you are. You remind them of everything you have done. You hope that if they see the depth of your care, they will finally respect it. But here's what's actually happening. When you keep giving more to someone who is already taking you for granted, you may be reinforcing the very thing that hurts you. You are showing them that the less carefully they treat you, the harder you work to be valued. That is a dangerous dynamic, because now the relationship has flipped. Instead of their behavior needing to rise to meet your value, your effort keeps rising to compensate for their lack of respect. You begin negotiating for consideration. You begin auditioning for appreciation. You begin trying to earn the treatment that should have come naturally from someone who understood what they had. Imagine someone in a relationship where they are always the one repairing things. After every argument, they send the message. After every cold silence, they soften first. After every broken promise, they try to understand. They tell themselves, I do not want to lose this over pride. So they keep reaching. They keep forgiving. They keep making it safe for the other person to return without ever truly changing. At first, this looks like maturity. But over time, the other person becomes comfortable. They know the silence will end because you will end it. They know the conflict will be repaired because you will repair it. They know the door will stay open because you have never closed it. So they stop feeling the weight of their own behavior. They may still say they care. They may still mean it in some way, but they no longer have to act like someone who might lose you. Then one day you stop, not dramatically, not to manipulate, not to make them suffer. You simply stop returning to the same place where you keep being mishandled. You stop sending the paragraph. You stop asking for the conversation. You stop making your pain easy for them to ignore. You stop keeping the connection alive by yourself. And suddenly they notice. They may become confused. They may become warmer. They may ask what changed. They may even act hurt, as if your distance is the problem, not the long pattern that created it. but what changed is simple. They are finally feeling the consequence of what they took for granted. And sometimes that is the only moment when a person begins to understand value. The mistake most people make is thinking that respect should be automatic because love exists. But respect is not built only on affection. Respect is built on recognition. Recognition that you have limits. Recognition that your time matters. Recognition that your presence is not guaranteed. Recognition that your forgiveness is not infinite. Recognition that access to you can be lost if it is repeatedly mishandled. Without that recognition, love can become careless. This does not mean you should make people afraid of losing you in a manipulative way. That is not respect. That is control. Threatening to leave every time you are upset does not create respect. It creates instability. Withholding affection to make someone anxious does not create respect. It creates fear. Playing games does not create value. It creates performance. Real respect comes from something quieter. It comes from being genuinely willing to remove yourself from places where you are not being treated with care. Not as a tactic, as truth. That is the difference. If distance is used to force someone to chase you, it is still attachment. If distance is used to protect your peace, it becomes self-respect. And people can feel that difference. The deeper psychological mechanism is that human beings assign value partly through perceived cost. If something costs nothing to neglect, people may neglect it more easily. If access to you remains the same, no matter how someone behaves, their mind may stop associating your presence with responsibility. They do not have to be careful. Nothing changes. They do not have to listen. Nothing changes. They do not have to repair. Nothing changes. They do not have to grow. Nothing changes, and when nothing changes, the pattern stays alive. But when access changes, reality enters the room. Now their choices have weight. Now your silence has meaning. Now your absence makes visible what your presence was doing. Now they are forced to encounter the fact that you were not simply there. You were choosing to be there. That realization is powerful, because people often value a thing differently once they realize it is not permanent. A job they took for granted feels different when it is at risk. A friend they ignored feels different when the friend stops reaching out. A partner they neglected feels different when the partner stops waiting. A home they never appreciated feels different after leaving it. Loss sharpens attention. It strips away the illusion that something will always be there just because it has been there for a long time. And in relationships, this is painful but true. Some people only become aware of your value when your absence creates the space your presence used to fill. They did not notice the emotional labor until it stopped. They did not notice the patience until it ran out. They did not notice the warmth until the room became colder. They did not notice the door until it closed. And this changes everything. Because if you understand this, you stop begging people to value you. You stop trying to convince them with speeches. You stop handing them a list of everything you have done. You stop trying to make your presence louder. You start making your boundaries clearer. You understand that someone who truly respects you should not need to lose you completely before they treat you with care. They may make mistakes. Everyone does. They may forget sometimes. They may need reminders. But if the only time someone becomes attentive is when they feel you slipping away, that tells you something. It tells you their care may be reactive, not responsible. They respond to loss. They do not protect presence. And those are different kinds of people. A reactive person wakes up when the connection is threatened. A responsible person stays awake while the connection is still alive. A reactive person misses you after you are gone. A responsible person notices you while you are there. A reactive person wants access back. A responsible person asks how they mishandled access in the first place. That distinction matters because someone can fear losing you without truly being ready to value you. They may come back with emotion. They may say the right words. They may suddenly become intense. But if their respect only appears when you are unavailable, the same cycle may repeat once you return. They relax. They forget. They take. You hurt. You pull back. They chase. That is not respect. That is a pattern of panic and comfort. So, what should people understand differently? They should understand that being losable is not about becoming cold. It is about being real. Your time is real. Your energy is real. Your trust is real. Your forgiveness has limits. Your presence is not owed. Your love is not a permanent shelter for someone's repeated carelessness. You can be kind and still be losable. You can be loyal and still be losable. You can be forgiving and still be losable. You can love someone deeply and still refuse to remain in a place where love is being used as permission to neglect you. That is not hardness. That is structure. And love needs structure. Without structure, love becomes a place where people dump their immaturity and expect you to keep cleaning it up. Without consequence, apologies become emotional decoration. Without limits, patience becomes a trap. Without the possibility of loss, some people never develop the awareness required to keep you. Most people don't realize this, but the fear of losing someone is not the problem. Sometimes it is the first honest recognition of value. The problem is when fear is the only thing holding respect together. You do not want to live in a relationship where someone must constantly feel at risk to treat you well. You do not want to keep proving your worth through absence. You do not want to become a person who has to withdraw to be noticed. You want a connection where your presence itself is respected, where your nearness does not make you cheaper, where your consistency does not make you invisible, where your forgiveness does not make someone careless, where your love is not confused with endless access. And if someone cannot offer that, then the answer may not be to become more available, more patient, or more convincing. The answer may be to stop protecting them from the possibility of losing you, not by threatening, by choosing yourself quietly, by letting your no remain no, by letting your silence remain silence when words have become useless, by letting distance happen when closeness keeps costing you your peace, by no longer rushing to restore access for someone who has not learned to respect it. There is a deep shift that happens when you stop trying to be impossible to lose. You stop over-explaining. You stop over-giving. You stop proving your loyalty to people who keep testing it. You stop acting like leaving is always failure. Sometimes leaving is information. Sometimes leaving is the only language a pattern understands. Sometimes leaving is not the end of love. It is the end of making your love available to disrespect. And once you become willing to be lost, your energy changes. People feel that you are no longer negotiating your worth. They feel that your kindness has boundaries. They feel that your patience has dignity. They feel that your presence is chosen, not guaranteed. Some people will rise to meet that. Some people will resent it. Some people will disappear because they only like the version of you that could be taken for granted. Let that happen. Because the people who are meant to stay in your life will not need you to be endlessly accessible to understand your value. They will respect you, not because they fear losing you every day, but because they know losing you is possible if they stop caring properly. That knowledge creates attention. It creates gratitude. It creates responsibility. It reminds them that love is not ownership. Access is not entitlement. Presence is not a permanent possession. Thank you for watching. If this made you think, watch the rest of the videos on the channel. And if you enjoyed the content, like, share, and subscribe, because maybe people respect what they can lose. Not because loss makes you valuable. Maybe because the possibility of losing you finally reminds them that your presence was never something they owned.